Hi, Gomertrons. I just clicked
Hey.
record. You just came in the middle of our Atomic Habits episode. I'm sharing with you a picture of this Palm Pilot. Well,
Okay.
it's not a Palm Pilot. It was the Dell version.
Yeah, this is what I mean. There was not trying to be offensive here, man, but it was like the Palm was like it's the iPhone. Oh.
I just he sees it now. It looks so stupid.
That looks so dumb. It's like a communicator from like Star Trek or
Oh, you
something.
couldn't be more right. Oh, I don't even know what some of these ports are at the bottom.
Oh.
Anyways, I was
Yeah.
given this as a gift, and
Yup.
there was a calendar on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right? You remember the Palm Pilot or Palm
Oh
Pilot
yeah.
type stuff.
I
There's a
still have all my I still have all the .xlsrz like files. Like
right, whatever that Palm extension file was.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the big deal that happened with me with this stupid looking machine. Oh, I wanted to show you
Mhm.
something else too, because after the Dell Axim, I graduated to the Palm Trio.
Oh, I do. Okay, do you have that?
Yes. So this is a phone, this
Dude.
Palm Trio. Um,
Okay.
so if
That
you're not a
yeah.
13.1 Gomertron, you can, or you can't see this, but it's like the top, it's like a rectangle
Mhm.
with like a super thick antenna at the top.
Yep.
Pretty fairly big screen that takes up the top half, and then the bottom half is all a physical keyboard.
Mhm.
I loved that physical
Dude, okay,
keyboard.
so this thing so that made me excited cuz I always wanted one of those.
Yeah.
And I never got that first, no offense, that thing sucked. But
Yes, no offense taken.
this looks and it's like it's so amazing to see how I mean if you're not a 13.1 you can't see this but you can just google Palm
Right.
Trio
Yep.
and it's amazing to see this is pre BlackBerry, right? Like this is crackberry was
Definitely
like
pre iPhone.
yeah, I'm thinking that these dudes and BlackBerry were designing at the same
Right.
time.
Yeah, they were
So it's not
direct
pre but it's
competition.
like yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And then iPhone comes in and destroys all this stuff for
Right.
just like Steve Jobs said for like 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I wanted this. This makes me think of Alex.
This had a little stylus that came out the top,
Yup.
and that's what
Stylus.
you would use on the
Stylus.
screen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I would try with my fat fingies, but it wouldn't quite
Mm-hmm.
work. So you had to use that
These digits
stupid
are too
stylus.
chubby.
No, number not recognized. Your digits are too chubby. That's a great Simpsons episode. Um, so
Yeah.
you can see on the screen here that calendar app. And I'll
Yup.
tell you what, that calendar app changed my life. I was converted. And something very
Wow.
specific about that calendar app, which was what I realized, was that you could make recurring events.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Yep.
were saying practices is kind of synonymous with habits.
Yep.
For me, the conversion moment was being able to type in wake up at 7:30 and
Yep.
then uh in the info part, right, repeat every weekday.
Wow.
Okay? And then so then I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
if I can do that, then I could schedule 2 hours of fundraising every Tuesday and recur that every Tuesday and Thursday. Or
Yep.
I can do like respond to emails that I haven't responded yet."
Yep.
And then the big one
Wow.
was every Friday morning for 2 hours, zero out emails.
Wow.
And dude, I the quality of my life increased
Mm-hmm.
by like a
Yeah.
hundred.
Wow.
I became more present with myself and with people. I'm not actually exaggerating here. It
No,
like
I
was a
believe you.
conversion moment of
Yeah.
I can set up small practices and habits in my life and I can finally grow up into being an adult.
Yes. Okay, so here's the question I have for you. Like,
Yeah.
does that truly mean you weren't a J and became a J, or you were a malfunctioning or a non-functioning J?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Do you know what I mean?
I do. I Now that you say that, true Gomer confession. Can I step into the confession booth?
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
thought it was way cooler to be a fly by night guy.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
And so I was probably battling against what I knew. Not, I don't think any of this was conscious, but I was
Right.
like, no, I'm not a square.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
I'm
not
not
a
a
yeah.
schedule guy.
Right.
Whatever. I'm a relational guy. And if something interrupts me, and then I'll spend 2 hours doing this or 2 hours doing this, and it doesn't matter what's on my schedule. So you're probably right that I took so well to being a J because of my Dell Axim that it
Yeah.
was just there all along.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
probably truer.
Because I think when you're not functioning in like how you were meant to be,
Uh huh.
that's when you're really feeling like anxious or
Right.
like I actually think that I really really need structure.
Uh huh.
But that doesn't I'm not a high J, but I
Right.
thrive in structure.
Mm-hmm.
And so like when things are actually structured, I start to feel like amazing and like come alive and be fruitful. You know, the
Right.
trellis,
Mm-hmm.
right? The rule of life, like
Yes.
just fruit is growing on the vine. It's like amazing.
More
But
things
I
we like to
fight.
say over and over again. Those things.
Yeah, we'll have to do a rule of life episode,
Yes,
100%.
definitely. Yep.
Everybody read Ruthless Elimination of Her. You can get
Yeah.
basically most of what we're gonna talk about. But I fight against it
Uh huh. Yeah.
or something like that.
So that's why I'm such like a habits and structure evangelist,
Right.
because I know that whether you're a natural planner or not, it helps your quality of life.
Yes.
And
100%.
um, that was my first big conversion. My second one
Okay.
came, I think, when we started the podcast
Yep.
and started running.
Okay.
And and then we had conversations all the time about like goals versus um
Choice or
process.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
um and I remember, I don't know, I haven't listened back, but I think it was probably second or third season where we started talking about big goals, small changes,
Yep. Yep.
or small choices. That's what it
Small
was.
choices, big choices. So like
That's it. Yep.
the big one is I'm gonna run a marathon, but it
Right.
constitutes many, many, many small choices every single day.
And I think it actually came out of conversations about like, we know we have been, but we also know a lot of people who make the big choices only.
Sure.
And so they never get there. And
Right.
we wanted to be, as the two Gomers, people that made big choices, made big goals, but were really serious about what that would take to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was mostly habits, habit
Mm-hmm.
forming stuff.
Yes.
So I just remembering that the other day, and just like you were saying, we were talking about this a decade ago.
Yeah. It's like Atomic Habits codifies
There we
what
go.
we've been talking about the whole time. And it's
Yep.
like, okay. And now that he like made it crystal clear and
Yeah.
laser focused, it's like, okay, that's what we've been talking about.
Yep.
And now we need to follow the rest of it or something like that.
Right. And so that's where all of the stuff we've been talking about as far as practices has come out of over the past 12 years, 13 years almost. All the little stuff like putting your clothes out the night before,
Yeah.
when and how you run, starting small, keeping going even after a race. All of that stuff was Atomic Habit stuff. We just didn't know the
Yep.
name of it.
That rules.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to ask, okay, you have a third one, right?
I do. Yep.
Let's save that.
Okay, great.
Ooh, let's save that as a little morsel for maybe about 10 minutes from now.
Okay, great.
So I wanted to ask you, like, and maybe share also just a few habits that have been formed maybe in 2020 or 2021 that have
Sure.
been helpful.
Yeah. So the I got a James Clear journal.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So I got the James Clear journal as well.
Uh-huh.
Not opened it yet.
Okay,
So
so
it's the habit journal.
Atomic Habit number 1, open journal.
Still got to do that.
So the thing
But I
about
do
this,
have it.
right, the thing about this journal is you can make it your own. The huge bulk of this journal is just a grid blank grid of paper. I'm showing it to
The
you right now.
grid.
The grid.
Yeah, yeah.
And there are suggestions that James Clear has on how to utilize the bulk of that journal.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that has been really kind of life changing for me during this time frame, 20 and
Mm-hmm.
21, has been the habit tracking section. I'll just show you right here.
Oh yeah.
So
Cool.
you write a habit, a little
Yep.
thing, and then every day you put an X there if you did it.
Mm.
And on the days that you don't put an X. And actually, this is, and you're going to love this, bro. This is the Seinfeld productivity hack. It comes from
Ooh.
that, which is Jerry Seinfeld apparently marked his calendar with a big X every day he came up with a joke.
Wow. That's
And
pretty cool.
and then his goal soon became not to break that chain, or not to go more than one day without breaking the chain.
That is good. I like that.
Breaking it one day is an accident, and then
Uh-huh.
breaking it two or more is a habit.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so that's, I can't remember if James Clear talks about that, but I read that somewhere else. That's the Seinfeld
Yeah.
productivity hack.
See, I love learning about how really successful or creative people do
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just hearing how Seinfeld, who's like one of the greatest, writers,
Yep.
how he creates his stuff. Because the thing is, you see him do this stuff, and you're like, that was basically perfect. Like, he's not necessarily the funniest comedian ever, but he
Right.
is pristine,
Mm-hmm.
perfect.
Consistent.
So yeah, totally. Like consistent for 30 years, and he never makes a mistake. You
No.
know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine how hard that is, honestly, because he scripts all of his jokes,
Right.
and I mean, stuff's probably edited and whatnot. But I mean, honestly, Jim Gaffigan
Mm-hmm.
is similar. Like, he's 10 years younger, maybe
Right.
15. I don't know,
Yeah.
but still, he produces amazing content. He writes with his wife,
Mm-hmm.
and which is such a fun voice. Like them together, incredible.
So
But I love.
this is going to be a hot take, a Seinfeld hot
Mhm,
take. You ready?
mhm,
I
mhm.
think the key to him is his consistency,
Yeah,
his habit
longevity. Oh,
of
yeah.
continuing to write jokes and
Yep.
then getting up and doing stand up. Because
Mhm,
when you watch one of his recent specials on Netflix, right? I was thinking about this last time I watched a Seinfeld stand up special.
mhm.
He's in his 60s now, I think.
Yep.
Um, if if there was just like a random comedian and they did the
Mhm.
same set,
Yeah.
it might be so dumb.
Yeah. You'd be
Some of
like,
his jokes are very cheesy, are
yeah,
very pun based, are very kind of repetition. Do you get in the taxi or do you get on the taxi? Do you get
yeah,
in an Uber? You get on an Uber. You call for an
yeah,
Uber, right? Like
yeah,
there is so much trust built up in Jerry Seinfeld that I'm just
yeah.
rolling the whole time. That is the funniest thing I've ever friggin' heard. But that's because he has 20, 30, 40 years
Mhm,
of jokes and
mhm.
of trust because of that built up in me, Stephen Grauman, personally. And
Yeah, yeah,
that goes a long way.
for sure.
He's really
If
funny
somebody
too.
were to read it out loud, you'd be like,
Yep.
haha. Although he's fun to read though.
Yes,
But
you're
it's like
right.
also like you can picture
Uh-huh.
like his voice
Yeah. Yep.
in your head, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But this is so cool, dude. Like I'm just thinking back to in the show all throughout the 9 seasons,
Yeah.
he's always has a legal pad
Uh-huh.
and he's always trying out jokes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like that's if like there's a serious dental hygiene kind of like theme thread
Mm-hmm.
throughout all of it.
Yep.
And then there's this theme of he's a comedian
Uh-huh.
gathering material.
Yes.
And dude, that's a pretty good picture for Atomic Habits.
Right.
I can't remember that being in the book, to be honest. So
Yeah.
maybe
I
it
wonder if
wasn't.
I don't know where I read that. But I just Googled it again, and the first thing that came up was this daily Xing. And so that's what this
I love it.
it's a piece of, it's just a half sheet size paper. It's a grid where you write the habit, and then every day you mark the X. And so I don't need to read to you all the habits that are on here, but
Oh, we want to hear it.
there's
Give us a
some that
couple.
one of them I can't spoil if you want me to give my third conversion moment. So
Oh, okay, cool.
tracking my meals is one of the habits.
Okay.
So here they
What do you
are.
use for that? Because you're not on WW anymore.
No, and I haven't actually told you what I'm on yet. So am I going to tell you this right
Oh,
now? I've
yeah,
been
sure.
I've been using Noom.
Oh, dude, I get those ads.
So we should
Huh.
talk Weight Watchers versus Noom on Runner's
Interesting.
Block
Okay.
maybe
Does
sometime.
it cost money?
It does.
Okay. Cool.
Um, but I'm loving it, and there's a meal tracking thing there, and so I mark an X if I've tracked all 3 meals.
Oh,
You'll
dude.
see though
Okay.
that I don't have an X on every day, and so you have to be honest with yourself if you don't
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the month, I count up the totals and I say, okay, I got a 29 on Noom. That's pretty good. But I got a 12 on no phone before Jesus, which is another one of
Yes.
my habits. And so I don't want
Yep.
to check Instagram, texts, emails, or anything like that until I have some alone time to actually settle my heart and mind. Um,
Yes.
didn't do great on that, but I have to be honest about it.
Right.
So April was not a great month for me. I'm another habit is one sweet a day and no more.
Mm. Okay.
Um, close rings, like we've talked
Yep.
about, which
Yep.
always translates into either running or biking. So I don't put
Yep.
running or biking on this. I just put close rings.
Yep. Awesome.
No food after 7. I got a 9 on that one in April.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay, here comes some. Here comes. So I try to ask each boy one good question a day.
Nice.
Each one of my boys.
Yep.
Physical contact with Jessica.
Don't tell us about the X's and don't show.
I will not tell you the number. It's a high number.
Oh.
But actually, physical touch is not it's my 5th of 5 love languages, right? And
Yeah,
so,
that's a funny thing about Steven that people don't know, or about both of us, is
yeah,
like, um, like the idea of like a warm culture, cold culture.
yeah,
Have we
sure.
talked about that?
Yep.
Right. So like I'm like Italian. I'm like a warm culture.
Sure.
Right. Like that is one thing that's very different about us. Is
Yeah.
like I'm very physical.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I love hugging people and
Yeah.
I mean, please don't think it's like weird people or anything like that.
No, no, no,
But
no.
like, but
Yeah.
you're like, hey, dude, like,
I'm
just
not a
less
big.
like that.
I'm not. I've got a pretty big bubble.
Mm-hmm.
There's also like I'm a minister, and so I don't want to be accused of lingering hugs or whatever. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
there's
yeah, for
also
sure.
some care
Oh,
I need to take.
side
But
hug, always the
obviously,
side
with the
hug.
habit tracker, you can see that even sometimes I need to make sure that I'm making physical contact with my spouse and my children. That's not a reflection on the warmth of our marriage. I don't know
Yeah,
if
yeah,
people
yeah,
can even understand this. We have a very warm, close relationship, but I don't
100%.
it doesn't always manifest itself in physical contact. This is so weird to tell you. And then my last one is read before bed,
Oh,
which I
right.
got a very high. I usually get a very high score. So let's take read before bed, for instance. I do that. I do that for 15 minutes to half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Xing that most days of the year, I'm getting through 30 books a year. So
Mm-hmm.
it's this
Mm-hmm.
incremental X's
Yes.
equal me being able to look back on the year and saying, I did a big thing.
Yes.
But if I wasn't doing those small things, I wouldn't get to the big thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The
How
big
many
thing is
how
made up of small things,
how
right?
many ways can we say that same thing?
Well, but that's the point of the atomic
Right.
habit.
Yes.
Everything is made up of atoms.
Yep.
Right? So he's like, basically, we are based on our habits. We are creatures of habit. We,
Yeah.
like, remember in my practices or practice like episode,
Mm-hmm.
um, I talked about like tacit practices, or habits,
Yeah.
which are just things that you always do.
Right.
So
Yep.
like I remember like when I was going through like my deepest part of my like anxiety battle and I could
Mm-hmm.
not sleep,
Right.
and my doctor was like, well, what's your normal routine to get to sleep? And I was like, I don't have one.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And Aaron was like, Aaron was like, "Yeah, you do.
I,
Like
I
you
I
watch
think I know what it is
Seinfeld."
too. You put the laptop next to your bed and you watch that scene of Deep Impact on repeat until you fall asleep.
Right.
And I
So
remember you telling me that, and I was like, "You watch something while you're going to sleep? How?" Like I couldn't
well,
understand.
that comes that comes from like my total upbringing, dude. Every
Right?
single person in my family falls asleep to TV.
Huh? Interesting.
Like my mom is here
Uh
staying
huh.
with us now,
Yeah.
and she'll have her iPod on
Mm.
all night.
So I mean, that could be a whole another conversation, right? How many habits do we pick up from family and context and
Oh yeah, many of
childhood?
which are tacit habits, meaning
For
the
sure.
remember the thing that is tacit is thought. It's
Okay.
just there. Like
Yes. It just
you don't
exists.
right in the four main stages, the cue, craving, response, and reward,
Mm-hmm.
right? Most of those, the cue is like super easy. The craving is like instant.
Very natural. Right.
Yeah, like so the thing is TV before bed is not as bad as social media or email before bed.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay. So
Yes.
like I got a lot better
Uh-huh.
at no screens before bed.
Right.
I was reading. I
Mm-hmm.
was loving that. It was really helping me sleep. I mean, man, the election crap, dude. Like
Yeah.
November was like the worst. Remember?
Right. Yeah, I do.
That month sucked.
Horrid.
October sucked.
Yep.
Like, ugh. So
Mm-hmm.
just don't turn on social media or the news. But like, here's a perfect example of what'll happen. Like, I'm like, my muscle memory
Yeah.
is like, turn on your phone,
Uh-huh.
look at your email,
Uh-huh.
look at Instagram.
Uh-huh.
That's it. I don't do Twitter or Facebook.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't check in on that crap.
Right.
Almost guaranteed
Mm-hmm.
something is going to trigger my mind towards either discontentment or anxiety.
Right. Frustration,
Yep.
anger, all sorts of that stuff.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
More the first two.
Okay. Tell me the first two again. Anxiety and what else?
Discontentment
Discontentment. Yeah.
or
Okay.
anxiety.
Got it.
So it's like what I have isn't good enough, what I am isn't good enough, our
Right. Who I
house isn't
am,
cool
the
enough.
choices I've made with my life. Yeah.
Totally like these are my friends.
Even discontented with your choice of friends.
I'm just quoting Seinfeld there.
Yeah, I know.
Um, but like, this is my life, really, or whatever. So that's
Yeah,
what
okay.
Instagram does.
Yep, for
Like, it's a
sure.
big party
Mm-hmm.
that you know everybody and you're not invited to,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Everybody's having a great life and being successful and having tons of fun and having lots of sex, except for me.
You're right. Like, life looks amazing for you. So glad. Real cool. Amazing
Good for
vacation.
you.
Wow, that looks like so fun. Cool.
And but
Or
where does the
yeah.
anxiety come in? Just like over people arguing, or um,
Oh, jeez.
is that what you mean? Like just the political stress or the like,
No,
just the constant
it's
infinity
like
pool of that, or
I don't know, like seeing people that you're anxious about
I see.
or
Yeah, yeah.
hearing
Thinking
from
about
people.
conversations that you might need
That's
to have, or
that's more the email.
yeah, okay, right. Yep.
That's more, but anxiety comes in too from like feeling you need to prove yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like anxiety is really deep into like what you like value or something like that. So
Yeah.
like
Yep.
so selling yourself or feeling the need to prove yourself, like that is a deep source of anxiety for me,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah.
And we're on the bonus disc, I can say that.
Yeah, for
Wouldn't
sure.
want to say that necessarily publicly. Uh
Confession booth, remember?
yeah. Oh, dude,
Yep.
should we do a quick confession booth?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll set it up with one of my most important atomic habits that we discovered during Lose 20 in 2020.
Perfect. Great.
No cash in pocket, dude.
Oh, right. Yes. This is from the Loose 20 in
Ooh.
2020 where um I mean, and that feels like, here's why it's an atomic habit, because of the depth of mess that is underneath that, which is
Yeah.
actually it's so that I don't leave a paper trail, so that I can hide this thing from people.
Hide my fast food addiction.
Right, exactly. I loved that realization though in mid-season, where it was
Yeah,
like,
dude.
actually that's a simple thing I can change, and
Yes.
will have an explosive impact on a lot of
Yes.
these things I'm struggling with.
An incremental change
Yep.
from not pushing a button,
Mm-hmm.
exponential results from the gut.
Yeah.
So, because what I would do, we've gone
Mm-hmm.
over this before, but what I would do is I would go to Publix or something like that,
Yeah.
get all our healthy food,
Right.
and then cash back, yes, 20.
Right.
And then,
20,
or
please.
just 20 should do for like a spicy chicken sandwich with American cheese, no tomato, and a double Wendy's.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh,
Dave's double.
dude.
Yum. Yum.
Oh, the Dave's double is so
Those
juicy.
square patties.
Oh, we don't cut corners.
That was Rocky Rococo's.
Oh,
Remember? I remember
ooh,
that big billboard. We don't cut corners. Rocky Rococo with his mustache and white suit with that square pizza.
yup.
We don't cut
Ooh, that's
corners.
good. If
Yeah.
Chad's listening though, he got sick on Rockies real bad once
Oh,
when we were in
really?
college. The minorly uncooked sausage. We still talk about it to this day.
Does Rocky Rococo still exist?
Yeah, dude, and it is good.
Yes, I love it.
It is
Okay.
good.
Anyways, don't
Mm.
put the cash in your pocket or you could end up driving through Rocky Rococo's, which had drive-throughs, if I remember.
Oh yeah, you could get those breadsticks in a slice
Little
of
sack.
pepperoni sausage.
Yup.
Dude, the pepper. Oh my gosh, so delicious. My mouth is watering right
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
Okay, so the atomic habit was
Mhm.
don't carry cash ever.
Right. Yep.
Because I am a fast food junkie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get that. Oh,
Yeah.
oh man, I was just talking to one of my friends the other day, dude, and he said before a hurricane once in
Uh-huh.
Florida, he went to Wendy's, but I'm picturing McDonald's in my head, and he got 20 cheeseburgers because he knew this.
Whoa.
He knew this like storm was gonna pass by,
Yeah.
and he was like, one of his friends went to Publix.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, screw that, I'm going to Wendy's, and he just got 20 junior bacon cheeseburgers.
Great. We can do another bonus up on this. I have some fast
Okay.
food plans for 2021.
Okay.
When we're out of this dumb bet where we can't go to McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, or Wendy's. And I have
Yeah.
3 specific things I'm going to do that I will leave for another episode.
Okay. Oh man, I can't wait. But like, imagine, I don't know, just imagine that sack, dude, of 20 cheeseburgers.
Just the grease like kind of
Yeah.
bleeding through.
Yeah, but just imagine like putting your hands through
Yeah.
20 perfectly wax wrapped
Yep.
burgers.
Sounds great.
That sounds pretty amazing, dude.
But without cash in pocket, that's a lot harder.
Not happening. And you wouldn't eat 20. You save those, right? It's
Yeah.
never ending story. Like, save
Still
this
got
for later.
a long way to go.
You got a long way to go. But he was wise because he weathered the storm, made it through a hurricane, and he ate only Wendy's. It's amazing.
Great job. A hero.
Pillowy,
A
soft
true
buns.
hero.
The cheese. Okay. Gosh, why do we record like before I'm gonna eat?
I don't know.
But anyways, so no cash in pocket, huge,
Yeah.
amazing, true Gomer confession. This is
Uh-huh.
confession booth time.
Okay.
I had to get cash for some reason,
Uh-huh.
and I can't do Big Four,
Mm-mm.
so I was like,
Oh, here we go.
you know who's calling my name? Who's right between McDonald's and Wendy's?
Chick-fil-A.
Nope, Arby's.
Arby's. Oh man, really scraping the bottom of the barrel.
And so like, dude, I was like, you know what?
Uh-huh.
I've got that cash in pocket,
Yeah.
and I pulled into Arby's, dude, just ready to sin. This is sin time, baby.
I'll ask forgiveness later.
It's not on the Big Four.
Right.
I'm out of the we're not eating restaurants at all thing.
Yep. Yeah.
We're still doing very well with that. And I think it actually may have been Sabbath, dude.
Well, but
Those-
if we're going to go with this habits thing,
Yep.
you had cash in your pocket. And
Mhm.
so if you had stuck the atomic habit, no cash
Yep.
in pocket, you wouldn't have gotten Arby's.
Exactly. Wait,
So
but I
it's
didn't finish
case in
this.
point. Oh, okay.
Didn't finish the story yet, dude.
All right.
I pulled in, dude,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, oh, I'm just salivating. I'm gonna get a French dip.
Yeah, pretty good.
That
actually. Yep.
super like fake salty au jus, but it's
Mhm.
so good.
Greasy. Yeah. Yep.
Horsey sauce.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Got all ready to just sin boldly, just pleasure stack. rub it all over my body.
Just bathe in the au jus.
Drink the ushu at the end.
Yeah, with a straw.
Yep, yep. Oh yeah, no, just straight from the cup, dude.
Yep.
And I pull up to the thing, and she's like, "I'm sorry, we're closed."
A
And I
miracle.
was like, "What? I'm ready to sin." Sorry, that sounds really, really bad, but you know what I'm
Nope,
talking.
I know exactly.
Everybody's there. Okay,
Yes,
that's what you're
definitely.
doing. Okay, you're
Yep.
giving yourself pleasure that you shouldn't.
Yep.
And it, and she was like, "I'm sorry, we're low staffed and we're
Mm.
closed."
Mm-hmm.
So there was actually somebody to say that.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
And so, dude, I've got that money burning a hole in my pocket.
Oh no.
I've got the queue is there. The queue, I saw Arby's. The
Mm-hmm.
craving, oh, it's ready to just
French dip is there. Yes.
scintillate.
Yep.
The response was going to be, I'm going to eat that. And
Mm-hmm.
then the reward was going to be, actually, see, the thing is, the reward was going to be, ugh,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. It's more like the punishment,
You're
the
right.
consequence.
You're right. Yes. Well, he talks about that consequence
Yep.
versus reward.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
So, anyways, long story short, well, wait, I already told the story.
Too late. Yeah.
They were closed. And
Yep.
then you know what? I
Uh-huh.
went home. We like made dinner
Yep. Much
at
better.
home, and ooh, baby, it was healthy and delicious and no
Yum.
sin, baby.
Put an X in that habit tracker. Did not go to Arby's.
Yeah, dude. But do you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I sinned in intention,
Yeah. I
but
do.
not to fruition.
Right. Which is, I guess, better than fruition.
Ergo, remember Ergo?
I do. Yep.
Okay.
Can I tell you my last conversion?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So I've got the Palm Pilot conversion, I've got the podcast and running conversion, and the final one is actually when I read Atomic Habits. Um,
No way. When was
yeah,
this?
so that was summer 2020, late summer 2020, so about a year
Okay.
ago. That's when I put it on my list because I have a note on my phone that says presents for Anthony. And so I put it
Oh
on
yeah.
there
Sweet.
just so that I can remember when Christmas comes. So I put it
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
there.
Love it.
He's going to love this. Um, and I was super inspired to do a big thing that I've been putting off for a long time, which is write a novel. So
Okay.
I've been wanting to start a
Yep.
new novel for a long time, and I did not see this coming. But after I read Atomic Habits, I was like, I I can work with this new idea, which, like we've said over and
Mm-hmm.
over again, isn't a new idea, but with this new kind of grid,
Yep. Yep.
and see if something can happen. And so, um, I November came, and that was National Novel Writing Month.
Yeah.
It's like that's when I'm going to start. So I outlined the whole thing, and then the trick was um, getting the habit right.
Okay.
So making it small enough, basically, so
Mm-hmm.
that I would
Mm-hmm.
actually do it, which is something he
Like
talks a lot
Brendan
about.
and
Right,
the one note.
right, or the 1% increase every day.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so it actually took me a little while because I started my atomic habit was going to be 5 pages a day.
Okay, that sounds to me like a lot.
It was a lot.
Because
And then
doesn't John Grisham, doesn't he do 1 page a day?
okay, so this is the other thing when you're doing atomic habits, you
Okay.
have to find the one that works for you. So Stephen King
Okay.
writes 10 pages a day.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
there are
Okay.
other authors that, but these people they do it for a living.
I know, right. That's what they do.
And
Totally.
also, I have my suspicions about whether people like James Patterson actually do it. He has a team of writers, I think.
Oh, yeah. For
And
sure.
then he just slaps his name on it and he puts with this other name. And I think the other name's actually doing the writing. And
Whoa, okay.
they're just paying for his name on that novel. Anyways,
Well, it works. I mean,
five pages a day was miserable.
maybe he has ideas, though. You know,
That's
like,
true. He's the
here's a
ideas guy.
kernel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
3 pages a day sucked.
Okay.
2 pages a day was too much.
Okay.
And so I landed on 1 page every weekday. I'm
Yep.
going to write of this novel. Had this idea in my head for a long time, probably for 5 years. And after reading Atomic Habits, I was like, maybe I'll finally write my novel about the young grieving widower who inherits his father's used bookstore and saves a
that sounds
small
cool.
town.
Nice.
So I was like, okay, I think that's a marketable idea, but it was just in my head for so long.
Yeah.
So ever since November 1st, I've been writing one page a day, uh, every weekday, and I have 180 pages, 12
Nice.
chapters, probably of a 24 chapter book.
Yep.
Here's what here and so here's the key for me has been I don't have any qualitative goal. It's just
Yeah.
quantitative. And
Mm.
so I'm not writing this book like I've written a couple before, which is consistently worried about how it is. And so then I
Yeah.
re-edit and question myself and all this stuff. And so I do not think what I have right now is very good. But that's
Hmm.
not the goal.
Okay.
The the atomic habit um, commitment has been one page a day, so that in the fall I will have a full book, a lump of clay to sculpt instead of just air, which I've had for the
Right.
past 5 years.
Because it's easier to edit something that exists, right?
Right.
It's easier to like,
Yeah.
instead of like, yeah, like you've got air, it's easier to like start forming molding. Totally. I
Yeah.
love that.
So the conversion moment was what Atomic Habits helps me most with is having something to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sure this is for musicians like practicing and reed making and things like that.
Yep.
If you just never do it, even if it's a tiny bit every day, then you're not going to have anything to work with. And
Right.
it's again, it just feels so simple, but it was a huge mindset shift for me that I
Yeah.
just need to do a little bit of work every day. And then if I look back 6 months from now, I will have a huge chunk of work done.
Yeah, dude.
And then I can work with it and be happy and be satisfied and not feel bad every time I walk into a bookstore because I should be writing.
Right. Well, so the idea of sit down and write 180 pages
Yeah.
is like, yikes, that's crayon stream. Even
Mm-hmm.
the idea of run a marathon,
Yes.
you know,
Yep.
or run a 5K or a 10K or whatever.
Yep.
Any of those ideas could be so overwhelming that you don't do it. But if you
Or
do a
lose 20
page,
pounds or lose 50 pounds
yeah,
or lose 100 pounds. It's too big.
yep, totally. That's awesome, dude. That
But if
that
you can do
rules.
something incrementally, take it. This is my testimonial. Take it from me. I have 100 pages that I haven't had in 5 years because I
Yep,
thought I was supposed to write 100 or write 360 pages.
yep,
And that was like, well, I can't do it. It's too
yep.
big.
Too
But one
much.
page a day I can do. And that takes me 20
Yes.
to 30 minutes a day. And I do it
Mm,
first.
that's awesome. Yeah, doesn't he talk about do your hardest? Does he say do your hardest task first,
I don't remember if
or
James Clear does
is
that.
that Tim Ferriss or something
Yeah,
like
I think
that?
so.
Maybe
I think you're
that's
right. Yep.
okay. Um, okay. So when we went into quarantine,
Mm-hmm.
I was in a similar state of like, how am I gonna structure this
Right.
sort of thing?
Yeah.
And so I had something similar, which was make one read a day,
Mm-hmm.
cut in one read a day. So that
Okay. That
means
means like
like, so you
start
make,
it.
yes, you make a blank, and then when you clip the tip, and then you cut it in and see what you've got to work with.
Okay.
And so, and then play something like singing or like beautiful. So
Okay.
not just an etude, but play something beautiful
Love it.
and listen to something beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, that part, that like that kind of like fueled. Remember, I've talked about kind of like the inspiration, like
Yeah.
powerhouse that quarantine had been,
Mm-hmm.
has been, and now we just saw the masks are being lifted or whatever
Yeah.
on the news earlier today.
Yep.
Like those little things. So it's not like learn this huge piece or something like that. Have led to I'm a better player by like let's say 37% or
Right.
something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
Then I could have imagined like, dude, this that we recorded last week, and I'm like, this is the best playing I have ever done.
Huh. Yeah.
And I didn't play a whole lot in a year. You know what I
Right.
mean? Or like we
You
didn't
didn't
even work
perform
for
a
like
lot.
6 months
Right.
to perform a note or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was that atomic habit of make a read,
Mm-hmm.
cut in a read. So those are two different reads.
Yeah.
Play something inspiring,
And
listen to
beautiful.
something inspiring
Oh
or
wow.
beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so like the other day I was looking on like my desk and I saw this box
Uh-huh.
and I was like, oh yeah, what's in that? It was like a shoe box.
Okay.
I was like, what's in that? And I opened it up and it was like 100 blanks.
What do you
Like
mean?
100 reads that
Okay.
I had forgotten about, dude.
That you have made to
That
completion?
I Oh gosh, yeah, dude. I have made hundreds of reads during
Wow.
quarantine. We were doing our taxes yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and we were doing like Aaron was like, "Holy crap, you spent a lot of money on Kane and you didn't even play that much." I was like, "I know." I was like, working,
Yeah.
inspiring, like I almost just said writing, not writing, but like working
Yeah.
and
Little by
um
little.
little by it's a stitch in time saves
Mm-hmm.
nine, right? So now
Yes.
I've just got so many reads.
Mm-hmm.
Um and
It's
yeah,
awesome.
I'm just thankful for that having taken place and not I really feel proud exactly like what you're saying. So I'm kind of like going with what you're saying is
Sure.
like
Yeah.
I'm proud of the fact that I didn't waste this moment
Yeah.
of productivity and creativity.
Right.
Bury it,
Yep.
you know,
I
but
know.
I don't know. But that was all Atomic Habits.
Yes.
That's the
Yep.
point. Is like a little bit. It takes me 9 minutes to make a read, right? It takes me,
Wow.
I don't know, anywhere between 10 and 30 to do that first scrape.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So less than an hour a day, and then once I start, it's like
You're
keep
in.
going.
Yep.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Can I just really quickly just share a couple more?
Yeah, sure, please.
I like
Some actual habits?
yeah.
Yes, I'd love it.
I'm gonna start that. We don't have a whole lot more time, but like I'm gonna start a journal, and then maybe we'll come back.
That would be awesome.
But just a couple real quick like atomic habits
Mm-hmm.
that we've done. The first one is this is so classic, but make your bed every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got an
Ooh.
AM and a PM.
Oof, you're speaking my language. Make your
So
bed. I love this.
dude, man, it's like a great way to start the day.
Yes.
At night,
Uh-huh.
I always get our coffee ready.
Okay.
So I think it's called like priming your environment or something like that
Uh-huh.
from the book.
Okay.
So this was all to help Erin because I actually like I wanted to set her up. So
Okay.
I like made this coffee bar for her. I
Mm-hmm.
got this fancy coffee maker
Yeah.
and like set this all up and then every single night,
Uh-huh.
like at about 7 o'clock, I grind the coffee, I measure everything out, I rate so that she can come down, press
Just
start.
push the button. Yep.
Yep, just push the button and she can have her quiet time with her coffee. So that's been honestly a game changer for her.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like I wanted to set her up for success, so that she can do her Priscilla Shirer Bible study
Uh-huh.
and have quiet time with Jesus and because she just gets up before us.
Right.
She gets up before, dude. She
Hours
rules.
before. Yeah. Yep.
She rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So the
This is
5-year
similar
journal.
to me touching Jessica on the shoulder once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you touch Jessica and I make Erin coffee. It's like, do we know their love languages, dude?
And we are willing to put the effort in.
100%. Check. Made coffee. Uh, then one really huge one for our family, dude.
Uh-huh.
And our kids are still small, so they're 5 and 9.
Right.
But dude, we have really instituted the dinner together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
The
big.
sacred space, the
Mhm.
holy ground that is the dinner table.
Yeah.
And probably 5 nights a week. And man, dude, it's simple.
Yep.
No screens, no phones. I mean, they don't have phones. They're like little, but
Right.
still, me and Aaron.
Yep. Well, and there's
Um,
iPads sitting around.
Oh
There's,
yeah, well
there's all
there's
sorts of screens that could be available to
we
all.
live in a screen,
Yep.
you know. But that one has been huge for our family.
Awesome.
Has been that dinner table.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Apron has been really huge for us for that.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yep.
We've had it since January,
Yeah.
and I mean,
Making those
hey,
meals
if y'all
together.
want, what's that?
Making those meals together, following the instructions, doing
Totally.
it all at once. Yeah. That's
Yep,
huge.
Lego set
Yep.
that you eat.
The Lego set. Yeah.
The prayer of examine
Mm-hmm.
kind of with the journal thing at night. So I kind of like marry those two.
Yeah.
Um, and then dang it, there was one. Oh, duh. And then the last one, dude, is the daily walk. I might have
Right.
mentioned it earlier,
Yeah.
but the daily walk or run,
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing for a few months now, at least 5K,
Yeah.
5 kilometers
Mm-hmm.
every day. And then I figured out, dude, if you boost it to 3.2, 7.5, or
Uh-huh.
3 point, so 3.28,
Yeah.
that's an eighth of a marathon, dude.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You
So,
you have stopped measuring your runs by mile or kilometer at this point. It's all percentage of marathon.
yeah, dude. So Memorial Day, I'll do the quarter, the Unkar Plod
Yep.
quarter portion. But
But
so
you like
like
an eighth portion too.
yeah, but like kind of like the cool thing about that, just
Yeah.
atomic habit wise,
Mm-hmm.
is like that way every 8 days you've traveled a marathon,
Right.
and that's kind
Amazing.
of cool.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I
You're right.
I've
Atomic
really loved
habits.
that.
Small changes make
Yeah,
big results.
yeah, man.
It's awesome.
So yeah, dude. So I'm gonna get that journal out now.
Mm-hmm.
Start putting some X's in there.
It's
I've
fun.
got like literally 30 other possibilities, like not eating after 8, brushing your teeth at 8,
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff like that. That's been pretty amazing, but I'm not super good at yet.
You can. That's why this thing is fun. You can write all those, and then you can see if you actually do them.
Oh,
It's you count it at the end. You're inspired to actually putting X's in is always fun.
yep,
So
totally love it.
just let me give you one more little plug for
Okay,
I think one of the biggest atomic habits that has changed my life, which is zeroing out my email every week.
dude, I'm 10,000 away from doing that.
You got to
I
just delete them.
no, okay, so I googled how to do this. I was
Yeah.
like, is there a way to zero out unread messages?
Yeah.
How do you do that? Like
You
I googled it and
friggin'
it was
just
like
edit,
you have
select
to.
all, delete.
Oh, I can't do that. That would freak me out, dude.
Or then just move them somewhere. So I don't delete all my emails. That's not zeroing out.
No, it's unread or they're read. They're
They're
not. Yeah.
Oh, I read them right away, but then I file them every Friday
Mm,
into different folders that I know that
got
I
it.
need to address them or if I need to archive them. But every Friday afternoon, I look at my mail app on my computer and it says messages 0.
Yep.
And that has improved the quality of my life and taken out so much anxiety.
Yeah.
It cannot be understated that I am the person I am today because I have that atomic habit. Because otherwise, I am stressed, anxious, not present, annoyed, and feel terrible about myself all the time
Yep.
because I know people are waiting on me and I have
Yeah.
not thought about how I'm going to respond to them. And I haven't responded to them. And sometimes before I did that, it was years
Yeah.
where I was like,
Okay.
that person has been waiting for me to respond for years. And at some point,
Sure.
I'm going to get to it. And it was just this cartoon style, like weight anvil on my body, on my shoulders, on my life. And I just had to do something about it. And so
Right.
every Friday I zero out. It's
Okay.
incredible.
That rules, dude. I'm gonna think about that. The way I, the way I've done that is I just turn off the notifications. So,
There's another habit that's great is
well, no,
turning
but
off notifications on your phone and your watch. Life
yes,
changing.
100
Hmm.
percent. That is a huge one. We didn't even talk about. Just turn off all notifications.
Right.
Always. I love
Yep.
that. But I was just gonna say the badge. The on
Uh-huh. The
on your
badge, that
iPhone.
red badge.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I just took that off
Good.
years ago
Okay, great.
because it would say like 10,000.
I'm sweating thinking
Well, it's
about
they're
it.
all old. They're all old,
Oh
dude.
yeah, yep. Also get rid of unsubscribe to junk immediately. If you get
Oh yeah, yeah.
if you
Yep,
get
yep,
a
yep, yep, yep.
junk mail in your inbox and it's some ad for something that
Mm-hmm.
you accidentally signed up for, do not stop. Click unsubscribe and get that out of there. That's helped me a lot too.
Yep, that rules. I
Don't
have
ignore.
definitely
Take
take me
care.
off your list.
100%.
Easy living. Yeah.
Can I just say one more thing? If you are
Yep.
listening to this episode and you're feeling, this is to the listener, and you're feeling like, uh, I didn't do what I was supposed to do during pandemic. I'm mired in all this stuff. I've wanted to do these things for a long time. It's just too big. It's never too late to start. I have a
Totally.
sticky note on my computer that says I can start again.
It's great.
And that's has been my mantra for the past several years.
Yes.
Just
That's so
because
good.
I missed 2 days doesn't mean I'm screwed forever.
Yes.
Just because I missed
100%.
2 years doesn't mean I'm screwed forever. I didn't. I had this
100%.
goal in my to-do to start my novel for 5 years.
Yep.
All I had to do was start it. And
Right.
Atomic Habits was super helpful for me in that. And so, listener, you can do it too. Like we always say, if we can, you can.
If we can do it, you
Yep.
can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That totally rules. I feel overwhelmed by the email thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And so
Sorry,
I'm
I didn't mean
gonna
to do that.
no, like not by you,
Okay.
but by that in general. And
Sure.
so I see it as a almost insurmountable
For sure.
task, like a mountain that couldn't possibly be climbed. And so I just like bury it by
Mm-hmm.
turning off the notification.
Yeah.
so so what is it, Gandhi? It's like, um don't be afraid of a job that's never finished or unfinishable.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
So that it seems impossible to me. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously he was doing way cooler things than clearing his inbox, but to
But dude,
me,
you've run marathons.
yep.
You're a accomplished professional musician that's done
Hmm.
so much with his life.
Definitely.
I believe that you could clear your emails.
I remember at Juilliard, dude, there was the library, or not the library, like the one of the offices had this thing, and it had a to do bin,
Uh-huh.
and they would have it empty, and I took
Right.
a picture of it, and I like framed it. Well, I didn't really frame it, but I wanted to.
Yeah. Yep.
I saved it.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we try to enter Sabbath like that. We really do.
For sure.
Like with a
Yep.
clean house. When you
Mm-hmm.
enter Sabbath with a clean house
Mm.
and a, close to closed inbox as was possible. Because, dude, the thing is, the 10,000 are all old.
Yeah. Right.
They're not new. That's what I
No.
mean. I just want to mark them all as red.
You can do that
That's
too.
all I wanted.
Just mark them all as red.
I know, but you can only do it one page at a time, dude.
Oh, really?
That's the problem. It's like you can like search unread, check all. That's when I did my Google search.
I see.
If
Yeah.
you figure out a way to do it better than that, because I would love to start. I could start with a clean slate,
Okay.
but I don't want to
I'll
delete
I'll
them.
do some research on that. I think there's probably a way.
Swizzle
You're not the only one, right?
for
I'm
sure.
sure most of our listeners are nodding their heads right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
send
get it.
screenshots of how many emails you have.
That's a
Like if
good
I were to
idea.
turn on the notifications, it would be like 22,000 or something. All old, all junk.
All old and causing you anxiety for no reason.
Exactly. I do
Get
have
rid of it.
73 unread text messages currently.
Uh, this is my crayon's dream. All right.
So those I need to get a hold of.
Well, this was super fun to talk about. I want this
Super
to
fun.
be informative and helpful, personable, and also motivating for our listener. If we
Yes.
can do it, you can do it.
100%.
All right, dude.
Yes.
Great app.
Super fun, man.
Okay, happy clearing your email.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, let's stop that. 1, 2, 3, stop.
Sweet.
Hold on. Aaron
Save
called
that.
me 4 times in a row.
Okay.
Hold on. Ooh, can you stop recording the YouTube?
Oh, bye, everybody.